The valley was quiet. Soft mist drifted across the open land. Koru and Wooly walked together, side by side. Koru scooped up a handful of snow. Carefully, he shaped it into a perfect snowball. A smile spread across his face. But Wooly didn't notice. He kept walking. The sunset painted the mountains in gold. Then, Wooly slowed. He turned back toward Koru. Something in his eyes had changed. Not fear, not sadness. A memory. Ancient, heavy, distant. Not of the valley, not of today. But of a time when the earth trembled with giants. A tear formed, and as it fell, the past awakened. Before silence, there was a kingdom. Across endless golden tundra, beneath skies that seemed to stretch forever, moved a living river of giants. Their footsteps shaped the land. Their voices echoed through valleys. They were not wanderers. They were a nation. Strong, united, unshaken. At the front stood two. The king and the queen. Papa Wooly, dark as the earth, strong as the mountains. His tusks carried the marks of seasons past. He did not command with fear, he led with strength. Beside him walked Mama Wooly, graceful, wise, steady as the horizon. If he was power, she was heart. Together, they were balance. Together, they were the kingdom. And one winter morning, between giants, came something small. Tiny steps in fresh snow. A curious gaze beneath rising sun. Little Wooly. Not yet a king, not yet a leader. Just a child, protected by mountains of love. He stumbled. Mama steadied him. He tried to trumpet. Papa lowered his head proudly. The herd rumbled softly, for they did not see only a calf. They saw tomorrow. The kingdom moved as one. Across the golden valley, like a living river of giants. But he was never alone. Mama was always near, guiding, protecting, keeping him safe. Each step steady, each path known. They did not wander, they belonged. Papa watched over the herd, silent, strong, always watching. Together, they walked the land. Strength, wisdom, and the future between them. A family at the heart of a kingdom. Wooly watched. He listened. He learned. Small steps today, echoes of something greater tomorrow. Not yet a king, but already becoming. One evening, the herd reached a narrow, frozen pass. Ahead stood a giant woolly rhinoceros. One young mammoth wanted to charge. But Papa stepped forward calmly. The canyon fell silent. Slowly, the rhino stepped aside. Wooly watched, and he understood. True strength is calm and wise. Long before storms, long before silence, there was balance. The rivers flowed where they should. The trees stood where they belonged. And the earth held strong beneath every step. Because the giants still walked the land. The mammoths did not simply cross the world. They cared for it, protected it, kept it alive. When the rivers froze too deep, they broke the ice so life could drink. When snow buried the ancient paths, they opened the way so others could follow. And when the land itself grew weak, they stepped carefully so the earth would not break further. They were not conquerors, they were guardians. Soft snow covered the valley. Wooly and his friends played happily across the frozen land. Snow flew through the air. Tiny trunks sprayed everywhere. Then, Wooly accidentally threw snow too far. The snow landed on Papa Wooly. Everything went silent. Slowly, Papa turned. Whoosh! A giant wave of snow burst across the valley. The young mammoths ran laughing through the snow. Then, the laughter faded. Something felt wrong. Nearby, smaller animals wandered weakly across the valley. Weak, thirsty, searching for water. Wooly stopped playing. The river was gone. The land was dry. Wooly followed the empty stream with the herd. Then they found it. The water path was trapped beneath thick ice and fallen logs. Papa stepped forward. He listened to the frozen earth. And the giants began to work. Some pushed away the heavy logs. Some pressed against the hardened ice. Even Wooly tried to help. Then, with one mighty strike, crack, the frozen blockage shattered. Water burst back into the valley. The earth breathed once more. The herd stood quietly, not with pride, but with purpose. And for the first time, Wooly understood. They were not just living in the world, they were protecting it. Wooly stood silently. The memory was over, but the feeling remained. The age of giants had faded, but their purpose still lived on. Koru stepped closer. A small hand rested gently against Wooly's trunk. No words, only understanding. And beneath the golden sky, the valley remembered its guardians once more.